Hello and welcome to this second part of the music player tutorial. As you can see, I'm trying something else in this video. I'm trying something new in order to create a more intimate feel, us two sitting here and coding. And in this video, we're going to continue on the previous video where we started to make the music player. And in this video, we're going to finish it all off and build in some controls so that we can control the music and so forth. So let's just jump straight to it. So what we start with doing is we head over to the main.storyboard, and then here we just start laying out all of our items. So we have the second view controller, and here the user is going to be able to skip a song, to go back a song, put the player on pause, play, adjust the volume, all that good stuff. So what we first of all want is we want a label that's going to display the name of the song. So we're just going to drag that in and drag it wider all the way to the sides. And as I said, this label is just going to display the name of the song that is currently playing. I'm just going to give it a placeholder song, and then I'm going to drag in an image view also. Now what we're not going to do here is we're not going to connect each song with an image, but of course you can do that, and that's why I'm dragging in an image here, because it's natural to have a album cover that goes along with the song. So I'm just dragging in that if you want to extend it. So width, and we're making width and height the same. And then I'm going to drag in buttons. And these buttons are going to be the play and pause button, and also skip and go back buttons. So I'm just going to give them some different colors here. I'm going to give that one a blue color, this and a white text color, and I'm going to give it the text, let's see, play. I'm going to take that button and copy it 3 times, and I'm just going to place it like this. Of course, not the most beautiful interface, but it will do the job, and then you can extend it or make it more beautiful if you want to do that. Let's see, pause, and then we have here previous, and then next song. And I'm just going to drag in one more thing, and that's going to be a slider. So let's drag that in, and this one is going to enable the user to adjust the volume of the song. So here we have our interface, our storyboard layout, and now, as you know, we are going to have to connect these elements with our view controller. So let's do that by clicking on this nice shared view here and getting our second view controller, and then we are just going to drag them in. And I'm going to do it before the view.load method, like this. First the label, going to call it, let's see, label. Then we're going to drag in the image view, my image view. Then I'm also going to drag in all of the buttons, play, and it's going to be an action, and then pause, which is also going to be an action. Oops, see, there we go, action. And then we are going to need the previous button to go back one song, also going to be an action. And we need the next button, let's see, there we go, drag that in, next, also make that one an action. And then last but not least, our slider, and that's going to be an action also, and value change, okay, and then type UI slider. Connect that up, and now we have all the buttons that we need in order to perform all the actions that we want to use in this tutorial right here. Now first off, we are going to set up the play button so that when the song is on pause, the user can resume it by pressing play. And we do that by saying if audio player dot is playing is equal to false, which means it is set on pause. Then we're simply going to say audio pause, no, not audio pause, but audio player dot pause. So that's how simple that is. Now we're going to set up the pause button, and here again the same setup. We simply say if audio playing, see, dot is playing, and if that is true, then we're going to say audio player dot play. There we go. And now we're going to test this out by launching our app. And I have designed this as in an iPhone 7, and I'm launching it in an iPhone 7 Plus. So the layout isn't going to be as tidy, but at least the buttons are still going to function. And if you want to take a look at my video on how to use constraints and size classes, then you will learn all about how to lay out a beautiful storyboard. So let's start by playing a song here. Find my way home. And then I'm going to click on pause. So as you can see here, I made an error somewhere, and yeah, there it is. It's a bit hard to code here live, but of course it's a small error to correct. Here up it should say play, and then down there it's pause. Now everything should work much better. And let's play a song, and then I'm going to click on pause, and I'm going to click on play. And click on pause and play, and great, that worked, else I wouldn't know what to do. So let's just get us some more space here, because now we're just going to focus on setting up these buttons here in our second view controller. So now we have the play button, we have the pause button, and now we are going to go for the slider here. And what this slider is going to do is it's going to adjust the volume of the song playing. Now, one thing that we have to check is if we head over to the storyboard and we select the slider here, we have to check the value. And the value should be set to 0.5, minimum 0, maximum 1. Perfect. That's exactly how we want it. So now we're going to say audio player dot volume is equal to sender dot value. So 1 is maximum volume and 0 is completely mute. So if we now play this, we should be able to adjust the volume of the song playing. So I'm going to play a song, head over here, adjust the volume. Perfect. And pause it exactly like we wanted to do. So let's head over here, back again, and then we're going to take a look at the previous button. And in order for this to work, we need to know which song is already playing, because as you can remember, we now have an array with all of our songs, and the user has tapped on one of those elements in that array, and we now want to know which song that is. And then when the user clicks on previous, we want to skip one track back, and if he clicks on next, we want to go to the next song. So what we now want to do is we want to configure a variable that keeps track of which song is currently playing. And I know I'm writing these as global variables, but of course this isn't necessary in this case because we are using a tab bar controller, so it's not completely necessary. But if someone has made their own tab bar controller or something like that, then it's a good idea to make them global. So I'm just going to make them global for now. So I'm going to say var this song, and it's going to be an integer, and we're going to give it the value 0. Then we're also going to head over down here, and then when the user clicks on a certain song, we want to record which song that is, or just store that number. So we want to say this song, let's see, is equal to index path dot row. So by doing this, we now get the number or which song the player is currently playing. And this will make it very easy for us to go back or skip a song. And one function that we need to take with us is this one right here. So also copy this one like that, and then head over to the second view controller. Now what we want to do is we want to create our very own function. And this function is going to be play this, and it's going to accept an integer. No, it's going to accept a string. So we want to say this song, or we just use that one. This one, creative names of type string. That's what we want to pass it when we call the function. And then what we want this function to do is we want to give it the name of a song, and then that function should play that song for us. So what we want to do here is everything, and the song that it's going to play is going to be equal to this one, so the song that we pass it, .mp3. That's exactly as we want it to. Very well. And then we can remove this one, and else we're going to print error if something bad happens or we get an error. So now what we want to do is when the user clicks on the next song, we want to simply say play this, and the song that it's going to play is it's going to play songs, so our array filled with songs at this song plus 1. So now we're going to test this by launching our application, and if everything is working as we want it to, let's see, there is a slight problem, and that is because we need to import AV foundation also here. So let's launch the app and see that everything, or at least the next part, is working so that we can go one song next. So I'm just going to play a song here in case you forgot, and then I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to click on next. So as you can see, we're only going one song next, and that is because we don't update the song that is playing. So of course here also we need to make a change down here in our function. We need to say this song plus equals 1, because we go one song ahead in our array. So also we have to update which song we're currently playing. So I'm now going to play a song, Mighty Fine. And I'm going to skip one song, one more, and then one more, and we get a crash. And that's because we're outside the array, so we have to check for if we are at the last song, and if we are, we aren't going to enable our user to continue to skip ahead or go to the next song. So we're going to say if this song is equal, or I mean less than songs dot count, and if that is the case, then we're going to operate or do this. But if not, the user has reached the end of the array, and we're just not going to do anything right now. Of course, you could display some kind of alert, or you can start from the beginning. You could do that by just saying this song is equal to 0, but right now I'm going to let you take that creative part and do whatever you want to with that else bracket. So let's play this one, and it should now stop at Scarlet Fire. So let's click next, and next, and then, and that didn't work because we need a -1 here, right? So let's play it one more time, and now it should work very, very fine. So I'm now going to click on Mighty Fine, and again skip 2 songs ahead, and now we shouldn't be able to skip more, and that's exactly what we want. So awesome. Now we have the play button, the pause button, the next, the volume adjustment, and now we're going to focus on the previous button. I'm always looking at the screen, sorry for that. I'm not used to this yet, but I'm going to look right into the lens from now on. I'm going to try. So let's set up the previous button, and we do that by simply taking this one, pasting it in, and then instead of saying +1, we're going to say -1. Again, here we also need to put in an if sentence in order to check if we are at item number 0. We don't want to go below item number 0. So we want to say if this song is equal to 1, then we are going to do this. But if it's not, then we're simply going to say nothing. Again, here you have your creative potential. Here you can realize this. So now we're going to try to launch the app, or we are going to launch the app, and now we're going to click on next, previous, and everything should work. And then we only have the label left and then an image. So I'm going to say find my way home. I'm going to skip one back and try one more time, and it should not work. Awesome. So now we have all our controls: next, previous, volume adjustment, pause, play. So now all we have left is our label. So let's focus on that right now. And what we're going to do is we're first of all, when the view did load, or when the view loads, then we're going to update the label. So now we're going to say label.text is equal to songs at this song. so the current song. And then as an image, I am just going to take a screenshot of my background actually, and I'm just going to drag it in. Of course, this is going to be the same image for, this is going to be the same image for each songs, for all songs. But of course, if you want to take this to the next level, you are just going to have to connect a picture along with the song when you save the songs. So let's finish that, and then we're going to head over to the storyboard and set that as our placeholder image, just like that. And I'm going to say aspect fit. And then now we are only updating our label when we have picked the song, and then transition over to our second view controller. But now we also want to update it each time we pick a new song with our controls, like previous and next. So what we want to do is we just want to copy this, and then when we skip ahead like this, we are going to update it also. Songs is equal to this song, and also here. And you know what? Then we also have to take this out, and we are going to have to update it here, else we aren't going to get the proper title of the songs. So let's launch the app, and now we should have an image, we should have a label, we should have a previous button, we should have a next button, we should have a play button, a pause button, and a volume adjustment. All this great stuff in one music player. So let's see if all of this is actually working. I'm going to take fingers. It's displaying the image, the name of the song. I'm going to see what the next song is, in case you forgot. In case you forgot, we can skip ahead. My Define, Otis, Mac Music. Okay, that's also a song. Scarlet Fire. Awesome, exactly like we wanted to work. So now we have a fully functional music player, but I'm going to show you one thing, and that is there are still some bugs left there. And of course, every developer's favorite part is the debugging process, and you can spend hours, days, weeks doing this, but I'm just going to place a little debugging or magic in here so that it's more complete. Of course, you can also do something yourself, but I'm just going to show you what would be reasonable to do right now. So I'm going to head over to the second, and if you see, if I now click play, for example, it crashes because our audio player is empty and we try to play something that isn't there. So what we're going to do about that is we are going to head over to our first view controller again, and we are going to create a variable. And this variable we are going to call, you can call it whatever you want to, I'm going to call it audio stuffed is equal to false, which means we haven't stuffed any audio into our audio player yet. And then when we do that, we want to say audio stuffed, see, audio stuffed is equal to true. There are a bunch of ways you can do this, but this is just the one I thought about right now. I'm going to have a boolean. So in each button, I'm going to place this check and see if we have some audio in this audio player. So for example, pause, I'm going to say if audio stuffed is equal to true, only then are we going to do this. And then what you could do in order to make it even more beautiful, like each developer wants to use as little code as possible, you can simply copy this, let's see, cut it out, and then say if we have audio and audio player is playing, then we are going to pause our player, just like this. And then up here, we are going to do the same thing, copy this one, and we are just going to paste it in, and we're going to say false. And here we're going to say is equal to false. So now we're going to check if this at least works, because if it doesn't, there's no point in continuing with the other buttons. So I'm going to launch it and just make completely sure that this check is now working and is serving the purpose of not crashing the app if the user tries to use any of the buttons even though a song isn't playing. So I'm going to go to the second, and I'm going to click on pause, and I'm going to click on play. There's still a crash there, and that's because this one needs to be changed to true. Of course, that's not a variable we want to change. But of course, now we know that this check is indeed working, that it's a good idea to check if there's some audio stuffed in there before we do something. So what we're going to do is we are simply going to add this to all of our buttons because this worked very well. So we're going to say if that and this other stuff is equal to true, and also here if that and other stuff is equal to, let's remove the if here, and also that's also here. I think we should add it if, let's see, other stuff is equal to true. And let's just cut that out, paste it in here. And now we are going to launch our app and just make completely sure that we can do all types of adjustment and the app won't crash if we haven't pushed some audio into our audio player yet. So let's click on nothing. We're actually going to jump here, play, pause, next, previous. We're going to adjust the volume. Awesome. Then we're going to say fingers. Pause. Awesome. Play. Previous. Okay, there's a little problem there. So we're just going to check what that is because we aren't able to click on previous. And there I found a slight problem with our code here, and we need to say minus, of course. And I've also made one more error, and that is this song should not be equal to 1. And now we're going to click on fingers. And now I'm going to click on previous, and it works. Let's set this one to 0 instead. And now, hopefully, fingers crossed, that this works. Let's see if it indeed does. We're launching the app here, hopefully for the last time. And then I'm going to click on a song, Mighty Fine. And then previous. Yes, 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 yes. And that's the last song. It is indeed celebration song. So I'm going to pause this app. So this is our music player app. It has all the basic features that you want in a music player, but of course if you want even more, feel free to work with this project, extend it as much as you want to. I also saw some comments in the previous video wanting me to show you how to download music from YouTube and use that in our music player. Now that is a much more comprehensive process. It might be something that I'm going to do in the future, but right now this is your basic framework, and then you can do whatever you want to with the songs. You now have the framework, and now you can get the songs any way you want to, if that is dragging and dropping, if that is saving them in a database and dragging on them, downloading for YouTube, all cool stuff. But this is it for this music player. If you enjoyed this format of coding, then please tell me below in the comment section so that I know if I'm going to continue with this or just go back to the old straight me and my microphone. You're going to decide that. And other than that, thank you for watching. Also, if you are complete or a beginner in Swift, or you are intermediate and want to learn more, I do have a Udemy course covering all the basics of Swift and making sure that you master the Swift programming language. A link for that will be in the description below. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you click the subscribe button, and then I will see you back in the next video. Thank you for watching.